Hi, everybody. I want to show you how to use your online textbook as a resource. So this will just be a short video running through some of the things that you can access for your help throughout the year. So if you go to the flourishkh.com site, it'll take you to this login window. And in the login window, you'll have your student username, which I gave you in class. The password is math 2018, and the PIN number is the zip code for the school, which is 40500. And once you click login, it'll take you to the resources that are available for you. Now you'll notice that we have Discovering Geometry 5th edition. And so by clicking on that, it'll take you to this window. Now your window will look a little bit different than mine. You will only have the student ebook along with these 5 drop-down menus that are on the left. These will not show up on your screen when you log into this location. So just a few things that we have on this left side that's kind of useful is if you're ever to miss a class and you need to get caught up, this might be one of the most effective ways. So let's say that you missed something from chapter 10 on the Pythagorean theorem and you want to make up that material. Well, you can go to chapter 10 and it has a condensed lesson. It has the main topics for each section. So for example, in section 10.1, we just did a review of the Pythagorean theorem, and it has example problems, and it has pretty much what our target of the lesson was most of the time. Sometimes we'll change it a little bit because we won't follow the book exactly, but it'll have the main themes that you need to make note of highlighted. And they'll also have some examples in the condensed lesson. So this is a real good way to stay current if you miss a class. The second thing is there's a practice your skills section here. So let's say in chapter 7, you're not feeling too confident about what you're doing. You want to have some extra practice. Well, by going to chapter 7, there's more exercises that work on the basic skills of each chapter, which in that one we're working on similar polygons. And so there will be a lot of extra example problems that you can look at and strengthen your skills that way. Also, there's some things on using your algebra skills that are really kind of focused. One section per, or one highlight per chapter throughout the year. You can use those if you want to stay fresh in your algebra skills. And then there are investigations if you want to work on constructing your understanding beyond just what we do in the class. So these are some things that you want to be noticing. Finally, there's a guide for your parents. So if they're curious about what you're doing in chapter 3 and they say, well, how can I help? There is a worksheet and instructions on chapter 4 that they can look at and review the topics that we're doing. Okay, so those are just some of the things that are resources for you. Now, by clicking on this top button on the top, the student ebook, it'll launch the textbook website, and it'll take you to the same page every time. The very beginning, zero chapter on geometric art. Now, there's 2 ways to advance through the book. One is through the table of contents, which is up here on the upper left, and I can click on perhaps chapter 6. I want to go to symmetry and transformations. Okay, so I can click on this, and it will take me to that section. The second way that I can advance through the book is down here on the lower right. Very often I give you, well, actually almost all the time, I give you the page number in the textbook that we're doing our assignment out of. So if you're on page 472 for some assignment, just type in 472 and hit the return button, and it will advance you to that page. So you can go back a section by clicking on 9.3 up here in this tab. It'll take you back to the previous section, and you can advance by clicking at the bottom tab, and it will move you back and forth between the sections in the book. Now, one of the things that's really handy in the book is that our goal is not simply to replicate mathematics. Our goal is to understand it well and understand the general principles. One of the big things that is in this textbook that you'll find is that there are dynamic interactions or explorations for you, for usually for most sections. And they'll take you through a series of steps to help you understand the properties that we're studying. So, for example, use the segment tool to construct the necessary radii and chords for each case. So I can click on things, and it's an interactive tool that helps me build my understanding of what's taking place. And so if I look at this, I can quickly go through and look at some of the properties that are taking place. And did that one backwards. Let's undo this, and I'll go this way this time. And I'm able to see the properties that we're studying and better understand the relationships rather than just following a rule, but work from a point of understanding. So you'll notice that that's a really useful thing if you want to understand what's taking place and you're somebody who works better from an understanding point of view. Uh, so as we look through this throughout the year, this is actually one of the most useful things, one of the most useful support tools you have to your textbook. It will really support what we have going on in class. And this way you don't have to bring a textbook to class every day. All you need to bring is your computer. Access for this works pretty well also with your phones and things like that, because it downloads onto phones as well. So that's it for now. I will see you in class.